Hello there, welcome to our video about Star Wars Episode 9 predictions. My name is Corey Kohler. Hopefully by this time you are familiar with me.
Yeah, we sure are.
What is this? Oh, this is Josh Whittaker, by the way.
I'm dressed as my favorite character from the hit TV show, The Mandalorian.
As what? The Ugnaught?
No.
I mean, you look like him. Without the costume.
No, I imagine that when the Mandalorian takes his helmet off and he goes to the club, he's still kind of incognito, and this is perhaps what he might
This
wear.
is a downtime uniform.
Yeah, he's like, I'm cool, but I don't want people to see my face or my crippling deformities.
Depression. Yes. My biggest takeaway from The Last Jedi is the fact that it ends in such a way that we genuinely don't know where 9 is going. And that is exciting to me. And I don't understand why people are not as excited about this.
We could have had that a couple of years ago.
Yes, I agree.
But yes, no, you're right. It's they Ryan Johnson was like, all right, let's just kill the past, and start fresh. And now we have one movie to do like what a trilogy could have done.
No, it's very true. Very, very true.
So we can't hate Ryan Johnson.
I can't hate him for that, nor should we, but people do. And there's nothing we can do about that.
Corey is of the persuasion that everyone who has a bad thing to say about Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, is actually a Russian bot. So.
I mean, if it can work with our elections, it can work with this.
Oh, no, it was Ukraine now.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Keep up. Mr. Nunez confirmed.
However,
Yes.
yeah, but Mark Hamill called that out and said it. We're going to listen to Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill is dead to me.
Oh. He died in Last Jedi. So.
He's dead to me.
Mark Hamill's dead to Ryan Johnson and vice versa.
So 9 is in a position to pretty much go anywhere and make new rules. But what rules did we actually get from 7 and 8? Well, first off, we have Force Skyping.
Mm-hmm. Patent pending.
Caused by Snoke, who may or may not be dead because no one ever really dies. We have Broom Boy.
Who's not important.
Well,
he's not important because it's not about Broom Boy. It's about it's the meaning of it. Anyway.
From the trailer, we all assume that now Sith ghosts exist, which wasn't a thing before, but now it is.
Is it?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I thought that was like the whole thing that they couldn't live forever, and the Sith, because they want to live forever with their physical being. The Jedi figured it out.
Well, which it's maybe so. This is part of this is clones. So
okay.
There's something going on here with clones.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we like it or not, we're stuck with it. So, are you a fan or not? Clones, and look, there's been this whole thing about like all of a sudden the Empire is just like magically back to just this awesome power, and they're not going to use clones. And Rey. She's probably a clone. Who knows? There's a lot of fuzziness. We talked about this before. Like, does Kylo Ren really know? Like,
well, that's certainly one of the biggest questions about this trilogy. Like, who Rey is.
Corey loves 8. My biggest thing with 8 is like, do they know what the trilogy is about at this point? I'm glad JJ is coming back to wrap it up. But it's like we have this very dramatic flashback of her like, "Mom, no," or whatever. Like she's screaming at her parents. Like. We see this flashback of her screaming at her parents, and like it's like a big thing.
Well, that's the thing with JJ though.
Is that just like a tease that leads to nowhere? Because that's not how Star Wars handled.
Well, no, this is
Luke's aunt and uncle. Like
this is
they were just burned, and like that was it. See ya.
This is a very different style of storytelling, and JJ is definitely...
They're just teasing us, and they're like, oh, do you want a dead end? Here's a dead end.
But if you want someone to start a new trilogy with ambiguous mystery boxes, then yeah, JJ's your guy. And that's the thing. That's what he's known for. I don't think he was hired in to just do something... It's clear to me...
Corey thinks they have a plan. I think they're making it up. The lightsaber, of course, is that ever going to come back around?
I don't think so. The idea is... No, because do we really care about where she got it? I don't care. That's not the point of it.
It's not the point of the story. It's the point of the franchise. Why couldn't she just have a different lightsaber?
Why can't it be explained off in a book or something else? Is it really that important?
Do you guys have time to read books? I don't.
I do. Yeah. No, I think when I say that they had a plan, I'm saying I think it's more of a thread than an actual big picture plan.
All right, so Corey's expectations for 9, nobody cares about the lightsaber thing. It breaks in half like 100 times.
I just think as far as all the answers that we need to get in 9, I just don't see how it's...
Well, no,
it's
we
like,
have a lot of questions.
I demand to know where she got the lightsaber from. Like, I don't.
Okay, what are your
demand
questions?
like Who is she? I mean, we got an answer sort of in The Last Jedi where
she's my favorite character,
and my future wife, and
what?
Dibs. I called dibs. You all saw it. So we now know that she's technically speaking a nobody according to the narrative. She is not part of any...
But not according to the fans.
No, clearly not. She's not a part of any royal heritage or anything. And that's one of the points of The Last Jedi that I absolutely love, is that it brought back the idea that the Force is mysterious. You don't have to be part of this royal lineage to be special in the universe. That's the point of Broom Boy. That's called an epilogue, folks.
Listen, I'm still a little butthurt, though. We talked about this, comparing this. Rey feels unfulfilled, perhaps. Or retcons. Maybe she's going to be further retcons.
No.
We don't know. There's a lot of retconning perhaps going on.
I don't want them to do that at all. They can add to it. That's not retconning.
Maybe this is another video for another time.
Who is Rey? Why is she so special? I understand the complaints about being a Mary Sue. I want that answered too. Why is she such a hub for all this Force energy? I don't think it's by accident. I think there was a purpose from the beginning with that. However, that purpose could have been changed over time. We don't know. They did say in interviews they always planned on having Palpatine come back. Do I think that was from the beginning? Probably not. But I think they always had an idea that it was somehow possibly influenced.
But if you think she's some kind of clone of Palpatine, right?
I didn't think that.
No?
No.
Well, who is she a clone of?
So I think she's a petri dish.
Created by Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda can be part of it. Who knows?
And for the record, I'm just going to go on and saying that the timing of the Mandalorian release with Episode 9 is very intentional.
Could be.
They could have clearly released this series 1 week earlier, and they did not.
They could have, however, Europe still doesn't have the Disney Plus app. And I feel like if it was a worldwide release, then maybe I would agree with you.
I do not recall.
I think Rey is a petri dish because...
Created by who?
By Palpatine. I think you look at Palpatine throughout the series. Palpatine's like obsessed with having a more powerful apprentice. He even says in Revenge of the Sith, which is really out of nowhere, and it doesn't match up with anything else in the series. He says to Yoda, Darth Vader will become more powerful than either of us.
So is all of George Lucas's dialogue canon?
If it's the movies, yes. It has to be. I don't understand why Palpatine said that, and it doesn't make any sense to me, but he says it, and it's like, okay, so what does that mean?
Well, Disney owned it, so maybe they cut that one line out. They're like,
okay,
it's
so
just
maybe
like
it's
Han shot first, right?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Everything could be seen. Rodian.
All right, petri dish. Sorry.
I think she's a petri dish. I think she's like all the Force users, all the powerful Force users that Palpatine knew, pieced them all together and created her.
But why didn't she turn out evil?
Well, okay. What do you think Rey is, or who do you think Rey is?
Oh, I didn't know you were done talking.
Yeah, I'm done. That's all I had to say.
I don't know. I'm kind of glad that I have no idea. I mean, I think the ads...
That's the fun of it.
No, let's not credit anyone for leading me to this decision.
Thank you, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan Johnson, for not making me know where this is going. I mean, I don't know. She looked at that mirror of a million copies. She's like, I don't know. I feel like there's some clone-like undertones.
I think so, too.
I would like to believe that they clearly... There's something clone going on.
It's a tough call, because...
There's a plan at work. Is it the right one? Freaking hope so. It's just, why would he say that? Your parents were nobody if she was a petri dish. Like, yeah, we had your mom's eggs and your dad's sperm, and they were just a bunch of drunk losers. Like, okay.
I don't know.
Why would Kylo Ren say that?
He's manipulating her.
Does he know he is, though? I don't think he does.
Oh, no. I think he's definitely manipulating her in that moment to come to his side. He's like...
Right.
He's like...
But he has no idea.
But that's the whole point of emotional abuse. He's putting her down so that way he can be the only one that says, I believe in you, though.
So now there's no redemption for Kylo Ren. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that leads me into my next question, actually. Where do you see him ending up? Is it a easy redemption story and he dies like Vader? The same old crap again?
I know, I hope not.
I think JJ is smarter than that. You can't keep doing the same crap because people will go... They'll eye roll everything.
Alright, so he's more complex than Rey.
Okay, yes.
But I don't want to see him... He should not be the one that, like, sacrifices himself and saves the day. Like, I don't want that. However, Rey is, like, this mysterious figure who, like, we want to see her do well.
Right.
But why?
Because she's all that is good. She represents the good side.
Alright, well, we're back on Kylo.
What would you like to see Kylo end up with?
Let me think about that for a second.
All right, you think about it. My thought has been this. And this is the thread that I keep talking about when it comes to the new trilogy. The thread that I think that was discussed when first approaching this. Is there a lot of flexibility in the story? Absolutely. But I think this thread is important. And I'm going to refer back to the Force Awakens novelization, which at the very opening, and I can't paraphrase, I can't even paraphrase it. I just know that there's a quote there that talks about light and dark, and it talks about the balance, and it talks about gray. I don't think that's by accident. I think that was an intentional quote put there in that novelization from the very beginning. And I think that was a hint of where we're headed. So my point is this. You have the prequel trilogy that goes from light to dark. Light side to dark side. Dark side wins. You go to the original trilogy. Dark side to light side. Light side wins. You have a whole new trilogy. You can't keep doing the same thing. I've said it before, even with Force Awakens.
I hope not.
No. Yeah, and that's my point. Force Awakens is a nostalgia trip. It is the same thing to a degree. However, for this sequel trilogy to exist, it needs to go somewhere new. It needs to tread new waters and challenge us with a new idea. And you can't just do back light to dark again. It's boring. We've done that before. So what do? You focus on that key word of balance. And here's my key point with Kylo Ren. Could he do a quick, easy redemption? Yes. Totally possible, but it's lazy. We've seen it before. Vader got off easy by, I'm good now. Blech, dies. Kylo Ren should not have the same ending. Kylo Ren should be one half of that balance, and that key portion of this new trilogy thread. So I think Kylo Ren is still evil. He's flat out confirmed it. He's like, I'm a monster. I know I'm a monster. And there might be a little light in him, but there's also a little dark in Rey. The two of them, there is.
Yeah, I like that.
There is. The two of them together team up to defeat the bigger evil, Palpatine, Kylo Ren, he's still evil. He does a good thing. But doing a good thing does not make you a good person. And I think this movie will challenge that idea. It will bring that idea to the forefront. He's still a bad guy. And I don't see him dying off. I want to see him do a good thing. But he's like, yeah, I know what I did was good, but that doesn't make me a good person. He's still evil. And he should definitely live with his mistakes. It's not redemption. It's penance.
I would kind of like to see him fail in the end, survive, and maybe not be completely redeemed. His whole thing is like, let the past die, but he's kind of clinging to Vader, and I don't want him to make the biggest impact on success in the film. I want that to be Rey's thing. I want Rey to have maybe like a Sophie's Choice moment where it's not cut and dry, like she's not... I want that to be on Rey. You know, this whole 7 and 8, she's been like, what is my purpose? What is my destiny? Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't know. And I think in 9, she's absolutely going to come to a point where she has to make some decisions, and some real big decisions. Well, and then the Emperor's going to be like, oh, by the way, you're blah, 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 whatever. And she's going to be like, bah, and then she's going to have to make really hard decisions. I mean, I would love to see it if Kylo Ren runs off and she has to choose between destroying Alderaan and destroying the Emperor. But if she kills the Emperor, she's banking on the fact that Kylo Ren's going to come back because their minds are melted or whatever. Or, I don't know, she's got to make some tough choices, hoping that, you know, Broom Boy and everyone will rise and finish it. And you know what? I would like that. It doesn't have to be Force Ghosts and like Ewoks clapping hands and like, you know, Tusken Raiders with Stormtrooper helmets and like whatever. It doesn't have to be all jolly.
It doesn't have to be all hokey dokey.
You know what? Why not a Star Wars movie? Yeah, now I'm on my soapbox. Where it's like, you know what? Corey, mother freaking Kohler, you can kill me now. It's like Braveheart. Slit my throat, but we're gonna come back and we're never gonna stop. I don't know. Just pick your favorite movie speech.
I like it.
Where they're, you know, because that's the thing. Like, if the Empire can come back all of a sudden so magnificently between 6 and 7, why not have Rey be like, strike me down?
Well, I never really saw.
And she died. And like the last shot is the Emperor like, whoosh, but like right before he does it, she's like, yeah, we'll be back. Whoosh, cut to black. Well, that's the shot. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, to be fair, I never really saw the First Order like the better Empire. I always kind of saw them like ISIS, like they were just like a really
you don't know about ISIS? No. What do you know about ISIS?
Clearly more than
I know
president.
more than the generals know about ISIS.
You do? I'm saying I think they're
we're trying not
like,
to get political here.
It's Star Wars. This is all politics. The point is, I've always kind of saw them like a really well-funded terrorist group, and they just happen to put all their funding into one big ship.
Funded by the Mandalorians. That's what's going to come out. I'm with you.
Oh, absolutely. But, yeah. But no, yeah, I get your point. I agree with you. I think, and this both ties with both Kylo Ren and Rey, is that the decision-making should be really challenging for both of them. Because both of them are clearly on this journey or this destiny together, whatever it is that's leading up to in 9. This isn't by accident having them together or being part of the same journey. I think it was definitely, that part was on purpose. So let me ask you this: how do you think they're going to handle Carrie Fisher and her passing, and how do you think they're going to handle Leia?
I mean, I think we've all thought about what we would have wished Carrie Fisher's role could have been in 9, but. Mm-hmm. So what are they going to do with the footage? I mean, they have a lot of technology available, and I think they're going to be very respectful and do it right.
Like, we know that they said that they're not going to use a CGI character, which absolutely I know they wouldn't, but that's not to say that there aren't camera tricks that can't enhance something that's already been done before.
Right, like you and I have talked about how they're probably going to kill her in the first act and have that be like the inciting incident or the Act 1 break where that kind of sets off the rebellion in a new direction and kind of fuels their passion.
Which I also understand why people want her to live throughout the film, and I get that. But really, the problem is if you're going to do that and you only have, like, say, 10 minutes of footage of her, and we're implementing that, you're going to be thinking the entire way through the movie, where's Leia? What's she's doing? And really, in order to stay focused on the story at hand, you need to do something with that.
Right.
And I don't want her to die either, but I really feel like that's the only choice you're going to make to really let this movie have its moment to really shine.
Yeah. I mean, unless she's on some very specific quest that... I mean, I don't even know what that would be, but, like, she's in a very specific point for a long time. And she's doing something that, you know, we see the back of her, we just kind of see her. I don't know. I have no idea what that would be. Like, because I wonder that was the arc of the trilogy. No, I don't wonder that.
No, you don't.
Because I don't think they had a plan. But if they had a plan and they wanted to keep her around till the end where she could, like, do one last thing, can she still do that one last thing or be there to witness it? I don't know. Or maybe she'll be there as a ghost and, like, it'll, like, make everybody cry. Probably. I think we just want to see her memory, like, respected and her character, like, significant enough where she adds, like, one last, like, to Star Wars.
I think she should become a Force ghost. Because yes, there's rules about it. Yes, there's, you need to be a Jedi and really do the teachings. We're throwing all that out. Mm-hmm. That's one of the new things of this trilogy is that the Force is being redefined. So who knows? Who knows why Leia would be a Force ghost? I don't really care. At this point, it's catharsis. Is there anything, like, crazy visually that you just think that would be really cool to see?
Oh, man. A lot.
Like something really out of the blue.
Filled all the plot holes.
I'm sold. I do not believe the Emperor at any time should have had a lightsaber. I want to make this very clear. The Emperor, in Episode 6, flat out says the lightsaber is like a toy, or he treats it like a toy. Like, oh, it's a Jedi's weapon. That's not his character. He is all about the Force, so is Yoda. And Lucas decided to give both of them lightsabers in the prequels. It's the stupidest thing. However, it is canon. And, to be fair, the Emperor has used 2 lightsabers to fight 2 people in the Clone Wars TV show.
Corey, you're depressing me.
I'm arguing, at this point, balls to the wall. Let's see the Emperor fight Rey and Kylo Ren all at the same time. He has 2 lightsabers. Why not? Let's just do it. What do you got to lose? It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar movie anyway.
It is too late for anything else.
Do it! Let's have fun.
While you were talking, I'm thinking just like, he's the one who's like orchestrating this entire freaking like overhaul, and you know, he doesn't need a freaking lightsaber because he controls people. And we've had 7 and 8 where, you know, I don't know, Snoke didn't. Well,
we don't know Snoke didn't.
Listen, we're all.
And Snoke can be, by the way, Snoke can completely be written off with a single line. We don't need a huge backstory. We're focusing on the bigger thing at hand.
I need a little bit of one because I would feel cheated if I didn't get something.
I mean, we can know who he is associated with Palpatine. That's fine, but that's just it. It can be done with a line or 2, and that's it.
It can, but I would feel like we spent a lot of time with Snoke for no reason. But as far as the Emperor using a lightsaber, like I don't know. I mean, sure, we've already seen it.
I'm just saying it would be cool. Why not? But at the same time, it's perfectly fine if it doesn't happen.
I would love to see him just hover in his chair and do his thing. I mean, like, look, like, Snoke did this mind-melding thing, and that was so deadly. And the Emperor, like, did his thing for the first 6 movies. Like, he doesn't really need a lightsaber.
He says he was in a room where it was the final shot of the film. He was told, oh, you can't go in there. That's the final shot of the movie. And he says it will melt your mind. So I have an idea of what I would say it is, but what do you think the final image is?
I have a couple ideas. You go first with your big idea. Because my main idea is, like, kind of silly.
So
well, this not silly,
this is in reference to both Star Wars Rebels canon and Clone Wars canon. And it is the idea of the father, the son, and the daughter. There are episodes called The Altar of Mortis, the Mortis Trilogy in the Clone Wars. Yes, I'm super nerdy.
He's thought about this way more than I have.
I have. Because
I'm a super nerd.
This makes sense again with Luke passing away, and Leia, Carrie Fisher, actually passing away. But having Luke and Leia together with Anakin, having the imagery of the three of them that is implemented over from the animated shows. I think that was a big integral part of the prophecy of the Chosen One. And I don't think the Chosen One is just one person. I think it's a whole lineage. What if it's the chosen lineage and you have the three of them? It's akin to the Return of the Jedi ending, where they're all like, oh, we'll watch over you and we'll be with you. But it's more like, no, this is the bigger picture. This is the father, the son, and the daughter all together. And they look at all the characters and like, the Force will be with you always. It's like this really emotional, powerful moment.
What I've kind of been fixated on lately, and I don't know if it'll happen, but my thought was that, you know, the fight between good and evil doesn't end after episode 9. Mm-hmm. It's gonna go on forever. Like, after 9, it's just like, oh, yep, good one forever, see ya. And there are a lot of ways that this can be handled.
So it's like it's the end of the saga, but it's not the end of the cycle.
Exactly. It's, I guess, kind of showing us what Star Wars has always shown us, that Boy will persevere, and there's always hope at the end of
a new hope.
Yes.
And then another new hope, and then another new hope.
We can see hope in a drastically different scope, I guess.
Okay. Based upon the bigger picture. Yes.
I would kind of like to see, maybe it's a little Braveheart here, but Rey finds out who she is, and she's like, what's my purpose? And she struggles with that, and maybe she goes through this whole dilemma, which can be extremely deep. I think Kylo Ren can hit a low point, and maybe he's like full-blown dark side, and then kind of rebounds from that, but it's too late, and he scurries off.
Mm-hmm.
Keep with me.
I am.
Last shot, right? It's the Emperor, or whatever evil, it's the Emperor, but whatever evil is reincarnated, is holding Rey at knife point. And the last shot is of her face. And it's not as simple as, like, if you strike me down, blah, blah, blah. But by this point, like, he's going to slit her throat. And she's going to die. And she's banking on Kylo Ren coming back at some point to avenge her and squash this evil force. So it actually ends with
like a cliffhanger, or
the First Order kind of kicking ass.
Okay.
And he's like, whatever, like, it doesn't matter, like, however they're related, it doesn't matter. But he's like, I'm gonna slit your throat, you're dead. And she's just like, nope, I win.
Oh, okay, I get it.
And, like, but we know, the audience knows that, like, nah, we're pretty sure that Kylo Ren, like, he ran off like 10 minutes ago, but we know he's gonna come back. He's gonna make all this right.
Will he, though?
And that would be such a bold choice. I mean, we haven't seen any bold choices in ever in Star Wars. So
wait, what? No.
Okay.
Bold choices.
Except for The Last Jedi, which was the greatest movie ever.
And The Phantom Menace is a bold choice. But the Phantom Menace was experimental.
Please don't ruin this for me. Okay? I want to see Rey smirking at the Emperor. Like, nope, we win. And then cut to black. Fight me.
I'm just gonna say you probably pissed more people off than The Last Jedi did. Worst trilogy ever. I don't even know what this trilogy is about.
It's about good winning, no matter what.
Yeah,
because evil's always gonna be there.
Redemption, destiny, good versus evil. You know, the typical Star Wars themes.
Man, I'm really bummed that that's not gonna happen, but I really want it to happen.
We just really want a bold ending, but I agree with you.
It's gonna be Kylo Ren and Rey hugging and be like, I love you too. I'm sorry I said those things about your parents which were fake. And we're both Kenobis. But we can have babies together because we're Force babies. And also Han Solo, he's alive. He's over there. I didn't kill him. And Baby Yoda is actually real Yoda. Ah! Yeah.
Plus, the creator is totally okay with incest because he did it before with his 2 kids, so we can totally do it too. What a great series this is. I'm having a great time.
You know what? Why don't you just make your own series?
I think I will. When this piece of crap is done.
And why am I wearing this damn scarf?
Well, here's to episode 9.